Okay, hi guys. I'm gonna do a video here about how to get the bushing out, the lower pivot bushing out of a Bobcat quick attach. This particular one came off 7753. Doesn't matter, they're all the same. I know there's a couple other videos out there. This is how I did it. It worked real well for me, and so I'm just gonna talk you through how that goes. Now I've got the bushing out. The bushing goes up in there. But what I did to get started, first thing, while the bushing was still in the plate, I took my welder. I just got a wire feed welder, nothing fancy about it. It was a birthday present from my wife a couple years back. And I welded a continuous bead around the inside of that bushing while it was still up in the plate. And I went around it twice, I think, maybe 3 times, kind of a gob job, but doesn't matter. Went all the way around it, and then when that weld cools, it shrinks that bushing and it loosens it up. Then I just took a 5/8 bolt and ran it through the middle of a nut. Actually, this nut comes off a Dodge Caravan front axle, which I saved for, I didn't know why, but now today I know why I saved it. And I put that nut or that bolt in through that nut, and then I just tapped that nut up into the bushing while it was in the plate, and then I welded it on. And again, the welds are not at all fancy, but with the grease burning and overhead and fire going down the collar of my vest, I got it done and it was good enough to hold. Okay, so now that bushing was in there, and that's what you had then. You had that nut and so forth, that bolt sticking out. And then I took a piece of muffler, just tailpipe, went over that for a spacer, a couple other things. This is a 1" by 2" bearing, a couple of bigger nuts I had lying around. You just got to take up the space and have a couple extra spacers lying around for after you get going, because you got to add them on there as that bushing starts to pull out. It comes out, difficult all the way. And you get that up there, and then just kind of snug things up. And when everything looks good and you've got it all squared away, then you just take your impact wrench, you put it on that nut like that, and you just hit your impact wrench, and not quite that fast the first time out, but anyway, when that nut goes on that bolt, it pulls against that bushing, and in no time at all, you've got that bushing out of there. Worked real slick for me. I hope it works out for you, and remember, we're all in this together. Get it shut off here.